All right, ladies and gentlemen, the home is back on the market. So I'm going to give you a tour. We're at 1811 South Stephen Street, Beacon Hill. We're going to be coming back at $1,075,000. So $1,075,000. This is kind of the thing. Here's the deck, and I'm going to show you the views from the deck, which is like the primary selling point. We also have a one-car garage over here, and then I'm going to walk you through all the different upgrades we've done on this home while it's been temporary off market. So one of the things that we got was we had a chain link fence and like a metal sheet covering over this stairway right here. And so some people were saying, no, they don't like it. You know, so we decided to replace the chain link and put a wooden kind of fence here. And we're going to do actually like composition roofing on the roof here. And then we also had some paint bubbles on the exterior. See, it's getting worked on here, and we're going to be fixing all those paint bubbles. I'll clean all this up as well. And then this is all the different paint bubbles on the outside. You can see it there. We're scraping, sanding, and repriming and painting all these different bubbles everywhere. And then we're going to be, you know, just fixing everything up, making it look really nice. And like I said, we're going to do all these as well. Let's go take a look at these. You're both the agent and the general contractor. Sometimes it means you got to get your hands dirty. In today's case, I'm being quite literal. Been cleaning toilets, mopping floors, and now I'm cleaning windows. Check it out. Smiley face. And so what you do is you just take some window cleaning. We've got some nice microfiber towels. And we're just gonna clean this window, right? And also while I'm here, I noticed the neighbors who bought the home next door are struggling a little bit with construction. So I'm gonna mosey on over there and see if they need some construction services. Maybe I can get a couple bids, a couple projects from them. We'll see. But yeah, so today I'm just at my Beacon Hill property. We just added a bunch of wall heaters, added some transitions for the bathrooms, new lighting fixtures. We did some outdoor railings, did some landscaping. The grass is dead now, but it's okay. It's, you know, super hot temperatures out. It's really sunny, but the fence is looking good. Again, we added some new wall heaters right there. Replaced some carpet, secured a hand railing right there. So it's super secure and steady now. And then, like I said, we got some more lights and a bunch of other stuff, smaller stuff around the house. And now I'm just cleaning. I'm the house cleaner today because we have some showings tomorrow and I didn't have enough time to schedule some cleaners through. So it means taking out trash too. So I've been, I'm gonna mop the floor soon and then go from there. All right, so we're here at Washington State Ferries. We're going from Bainbridge Island over to Seattle. Have to go look at a project in Seattle. It's over in Sequim, Washington, visiting parents for Father's Day weekend. So I've got to spend time with my parents. So now we're just on a ferry and going over to Seattle. Like I said, go check on a project. So if you guys are not familiar with Washington State Ferries, passenger ferries, a bunch of vehicles here. There's people commute every day here from between Bainbridge Island and Seattle. And it's pretty cool. Today's a really nice sunny day, so we'll just go check it outside. Kind of honest there. So we are on the Wenatchee ferry. And then gonna have water behind me. It's pretty cool. Yeah, so we're just gonna go through. All the people here, lots of tourists here, lots of people here for the World Cup. Go upstairs a little bit, get a little bit less crowded area. A lot of people coming in and out. So it's cool. This the ferry's obviously multiple levels. And it is a hybrid electric. See behind me? It's cool. Like right in front of us is Seattle. So I'll go and turn this around so you can see behind me. In the distance, way back there, is Seattle, and that's where we're going. And we're gonna go inside and kind of check out the galley and different seating options up here on the upper deck. Some people like to walk around, exercise. Some people grab food, grab beers, drinks, alcohol. Other people just like to soak up the sun. But yeah, in Washington, ferries are very common. And for some people, like I said, who live in either Bremerton or Bainbridge Island, it's a part of their everyday life. A lot of people commute from Bainbridge Island to Seattle daily or multiple times a week for work. And you can kind of see, we're going to go check out another couple of ferries that are at the docks. We'll go check that out really quick.
In the event of a shipboard emergency, signals will be sounded on the ship's general alarm, followed by the same signals on the ship's whistle. If this should occur, you may be asked to proceed to one of the passenger assembly stations, which are located at both ends of the main passenger cabin. Please follow all instructions given by the crew.
So, if you go stop here really quick, look behind me, there should be some ferries back there, and yeah, it's kind of cool. 2 ferries at the dock today, and usually you don't see those, so that's kind of cool. And then we're going to go downstairs, and I'm going to finish my little ferry ride, then grab a snack, with some coffee, and we'll go and check out this view of Seattle. You guys are going to love this. So we finally got far enough out so you can see the view of Seattle. So check this out. I love this. This is cool. Let's go this way. Boom, you can see the view of Seattle. Pretty awesome. Alright, so basically we're just going to sit on the ferry and enjoy the ride. And I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about real estate investing and, you know, the big middle housing zones in Seattle and what it actually means. So for those of you who don't know, in Seattle, you can add up to 2 units on your land that you own, depending on the size of the lot and obviously zoning. But there's many areas, and this is not restricted to a particular city. You can do it anywhere from, you know, Renton all the way up to Marysville, Arlington, and Snohomish, like pretty much everywhere. It's a statewide policy. So, you know, a lot of people are really interested into this. I mean, you know, additional living space, small houses, into their backyards. And you can either use them, you can condominiumize them, you can sell them, or you could turn them into rentals, rent them out. So it provides a lot of options to people who own homes that have a bunch of, you know, bunch of land that they're sitting on. You could also sell it to developers like myself, who can build, you know, multiple homes or cottages. Cottages are like smaller, technically it's like mid-sized homes, 1,600 to 1,800 square feet. And we can build, you know, 3 or 4 of those on, you know, some land, and just basically helps provide more housing that are individual homes, but are smaller for, you know, smaller families. So I wanted to go through that really quick. Yeah. Hope you guys, if you didn't know that, now you do. Triangle. So, what do I mean by this? In construction, you have pricing, you have speed, and you have quality. Now, you can usually get one of these things. You can never, ever get all 3. Okay? Never. Can't get all 3. Contractors might try to tell you that they will deliver on all 3, but trust me, you can't. You just can't. It's price and speed, or quality and speed, but not price. I mean, sometimes you can get 2 out of 3. So depending on the contractor, sometimes you might just get 1 out of 3. So sometimes if you go with a really cheap contractor that's low on price, you might get just price. Their speed would be slow, and their quality is questionable, okay? Because they're very inexpensive. No, not always, but sometimes. The second one, let's talk about quality. Quality usually comes at a sacrifice of price and speed. Quality takes time, okay? Quality is smooth. Smooth is fast, but it takes longer time, okay? So quality construction takes time, and it costs more. Doesn't necessarily mean the most expensive, but it just costs more. Now, timing. You can do speed construction. We can knock out projects super fast. But usually, if you're super fast, you pay a little bit more on price, and sometimes your quality goes down a little bit, okay? So remember the construction triangle: price, quality, speed. Okay, you can almost always have one. Sometimes you can get two, but never expect to have all three. Okay, just remember to set these expectations and make them very clear. And you can even ask your contractor, hey, out of the construction triangle, price, speed, or quality, what can you deliver upon? How can you, what guarantees do you have? Are you the best, are you the best price? Are you the best quality? And again, it depends on what you're doing, because sometimes I use different contractors for different projects or subcontractors when I know they might be fast, but they might be more expensive, and that's okay. So just know the construction triangle, know what it means, and know what to ask for. Okay, so if you're a homeowner and you're looking to hire a contractor, here's 3 tips I can give you to help you vet the contractor. Number 1, the simplest thing you can do is to go online and go to lni.com, lni.com. It's a government website. Look up the name of the company or their license number and see if they have any lawsuits, fines, if their license is in good standing, if their license bonded and insured, all that stuff. And that's step 1. Step 2 would be to obviously go and search them online. So Better Business Bureau, Google, Yelp, Houzz, all these different places, see how they are reviewed online. See if they have a website, look at the reviews. Okay, that's another one. Number 3 is to ask, other material suppliers. Like, ask the contractor, who do you use for your materials? Ask the material supplier, hey, what do you know about this contractor? Hey, if you go to different material suppliers, if you go to different loan officers who can work with contractors or home builders, hey, who's a really good builder that you would recommend? Or who's a good contractor for X? Or have you heard of this person? Ask for references. Ask the contractor for references as well. Talk to the references. Hey, what did the contractor do well? What could have been improved? Did you have any issues? If so, what were they? Okay? 3 ways to vet a contractor before you hire them to make your life much simpler and easier. And there you go. All right, cool. Hope that was helpful. All right, so I was on a couple of different Facebook forums the other day, and there was a big argument and debate about construction and invoices, estimates, and deposits, right? How much should you put down? What is a reasonable request for a contractor to request as a deposit depending on the scope of the project? So let me break it down. In my opinion, there's like these simple rules to follow. If the scope of work is less than $3,000, then the contractor should provide you an estimate or an invoice upfront. You review it, it details the materials that's going in, the labor, whatever, and then you sign it. That is a written agreement between you and the contractor saying that, hey, they're going to go and do this work according to the scope and the estimate. And when they finish it, you pay them immediately. Okay? When they finish all the work, it's completed, everything's cleaned up, you pay them straight up. That's it. Less than $3,000. That's what you do. Now, if it's $3,000 to, like, let's say $15,000, same process. Contractor comes out, give you an estimate, gives you a scope of work. Again, materials, labor. Sometimes they'll include their fee. So materials, labor, and their fee. And so here's everything before they start. Is everything's laid out. If you agree to it, then typically for that size of a project, you would put down a 15% deposit, maybe 10%, depending on how much materials are going to be required. Because that helps cover the material cost for the contractor to get started on said project. There might be another secondary draw halfway through, and then they would complete it, boom, they get paid the rest of the amount, okay? So that's the medium-sized projects. Number 3, the large-scale projects. Anywhere from like $20,000 to $30,000 all the way up to a single-family home. This is the process. So again, contractor gives you an estimate, scope of work, highlights all the different sections of the project, all the different materials, all the different labor, okay? Oftentimes includes their fee or their fees built into it. They give it to you, sales taxes, blah, 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 here's the number. They also give you a projected timeline for a big project. They also should give you projected check-ins or draws, right? Whether you are the bank or you're doing a hard money loan or construction loan, it's all the same. There should be their check-in points and inspections, okay? But for the deposit, again, it's generally 15%, sometimes 20%, depends on the scope and it depends on how much materials they have to front load. If they have to front load like a garage door, windows, cabinets, countertops, flooring, just so that make sure they actually have the materials, and because it could be a 2 or 3 week delay in getting those delivered, the deposit might be 20% down, okay? Because you want to order all that stuff, you want to front load the material orders, because again, it might take 2 to 3 weeks to actually get built and then delivered, okay? So that's what you do for the construction, and then they work on a draw schedule. So 15% deposit, and then they go complete a certain segment of work. This part's completed, so now you pay them for that work. They do the next section of work, complete it, it's great, passes inspection, passes permits, whatever, great, get paid for that. It's a draw schedule. They do another segment of work, complete it, finishes it, passes inspection, passes permits, great, they get another draw to fund the next section. And that's just, you just keep doing those draws and doing those checkpoints and inspections as laid out in the beginning until the project is complete. Okay, hope that helps and answers any questions that you might have. So.
Zero tolerance harassment policy. For the safety, security, and comfort of passengers, crew, and galley employees, the use of abusive or offensive language to WSF crew members or fellow passengers.
There's Seattle right there. It's got Space Needle and everything.
To a time-specific no trespassing
That's where we're going.
by law enforcement.
Alright, so we're in the Totem Lake Village. There's a new margarita and taco place coming here. Cold Margs, great tacos, fresh tortillas, Line Social. It's just right next to Salt and Straw, across the way from Lululemon, Don't Yell at Me, which is a bubble tea place. Right next door to Dula Cristina, which is an Italian spot, next to the sushi spot as well. So this is actually, I'm excited. I'm gonna come check this out. Out some of these lighting fixtures that are just in the light bulb section that are really cool, and I want to show them to you. I think they're really awesome. So I really kind of am partial to this one right here. It's just like a glass, like half dome with the lighting at the very end. You don't even need a light bulb. It's just empty, and the light's actually at the bottom. And then this is a really cool design, and look at, like, this is a really like fancy modern little light. There's so many different light choices these days, it's hard to decide which one's the right one, but generally, you know, it just kind of depends. So right now we're looking for some higher end bulbs to go in the exterior light fixtures, and I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, cost versus, you know, appearance and quality and all that stuff, and also the wattage is important when you're looking at these things. So I think for something that I'm looking for, it's probably gonna be looking something like this. And I like the little spiral design versus the straight design. I'll show you the straight design, what that looks like. The straight design is the same wattage, same company too. This is the straight design. This is for amber glass. It's 60 watt. But for me, I prefer the clear glass, and I prefer the spiral filament design, and same 60 watt. So I'm gonna go with this one. But you know, when you're looking at lights, it's just there's a lot of options. So it's, you know, it's kind of personal preference. But yeah. Okay, so let's talk about exterior doors, specifically front doors. When you're looking at front doors, one of the most common and go through exterior doors for front doors that builders use, like all the big name builders, is a brand called Therma True. And basically, here's the different designs. Here's one right here where you get the small slatted glass panes that are actually frosted. And then you have the big frosted glass that's here. And then they have different, different designs, right? But these are typically, this is a pretty common design here as well. And so, these are just like the most commonly purchased. Like these are almost always main view homes and like Toll Brothers type doors. They all get them from the same company. It's the same supplier. And now you know. Okay, so we're at a Washington real estate investment meetup group. And it's going to be a panel of speakers. There's 4 people, and they're going to be discussing pros and cons of on-market versus off-market acquisitions for real estate deals and development. And so I'm going to walk on in there and record some of their conversations, and then I'll post it online.
You have to figure out something that you want to commit to. You need to do it at least 6 months before you decide this isn't really going to work or this isn't working. If you want to send mail, you need to send it every single week, the exact same day, and send and commit to an amount. I don't care if it's 10 letters, I don't care if it's 10,000. You commit for 6 months if you're going to do this. Every single Tuesday, the mailman picks the letters up from my office. We have 2 of the bins full. They pick them up for every week, they go to my office. Every week they come in and pick it up, and I've committed to that. When I'm calling, I know I'm going to call every single Thursday. I'm going to do it all evening until I get an appointment, even if I take it from 10 o'clock at night. And every single Thursday, I generally leave my office with an appointment. I'm calling a code violation, I'm calling my driving for dollar stuff, I'm calling stuff in all of our market list. So that's where all my off-market stuff is coming from. It's all basic things. There's no secret thing that I'm doing that I know that none of you guys know. Every single person in here knows what I'm doing, whether you realize it or not. And it's just a matter of doing it consistently and sticking to it. When I hate doing it, I'm still doing it. That's the big secret. Is when you really don't want to do it, you have to do it extra.
Jesse, no bullshit. I tried to give somebody that speech that you just said, and all that came out of my mouth was, "What the fuck's the matter with you?" Just recorded you and sent it to her in perfect.
Yeah, I can tell 10,000 people what I'm doing, and maybe 1,500, no, not even, maybe 100 people will at least make steps to it, and maybe 10 people will actually do it. So I don't care if all of you know exactly what I'm doing. And the other part where a good 30–40% of business comes from too is I come to things like this, and a lot of you know who I am already. I know who a lot of you are. If you think of a squatter house, who's the first person you're probably thinking of? Right? Probably me, right? That's right, right. There's things that the types of projects I bought and things that I do where I make it very public and vocal and show everyone what I'm doing. So the next time one of you is like, Jesus Christ, there's 15 people living in this house, and I think one of them has a gun, another has 10 pit bulls, you're probably going to call me and ask what I would have done in that situation. Okay? So deals like that come just by you sharing everything that you're doing. Jeff's going to raffle off of a building somehow. I don't know how that's going to work. I think it's going to be great. I want to be part of it, right? He told me about it. Now I'm going to tell everybody about this because I think that's amazing. But share everything you're doing. Social media is a megaphone for what we do. Not the only way to do it, but it amplifies what we're already doing. So share everything you do, not in an annoying way. Share it with people. Tell them what you need, what you're buying, and tell everyone all the time that you're buying. Our job.
I can walk through all the landlines and make a shit ton of money. Same thing with me. I could walk Jesse through a list of properties that could make money. Like, if he doesn't know shit, I still could walk him through the property. As long as you have basic understanding, hey, house worth X plus Y renovation, and it's going to be worth Z. Is there a spread? Yes. Is it good enough for you? Yes. Then you take the house. You don't have to know crap. You just have to do a little bit of an investigation and say, hey, is it really worth this much? After the fact, is renovation, when people just, you could do the kitchen for $2 grand, that's old crap. But if he's really selling the kitchen, it's like 50 grand from changing cabinets with nice granite, in $1 million house. Yeah, that will fly. So again, you just have to listen, do a little bit of due diligence. Again, you don't have to spend 9–10 months learning about wholesaling, cold calling, writing letters, hoping that old lady will call me in 2 years. Just a new person. Walk through the agent that knows what they're doing. Walk you through the property. They're gonna tell you this is a good deal, this is a bad deal, and this is how you make a good money on a good deal. And you can learn from it. They literally giving their 20 years of experience to you on a silver platter.
because you as a new Dimitri, and you were two of agents, you know, your area, that you think could accomplish the same thing you're recommending?
Me.
Okay, all right. Jesse, new investor training today. Why should they choose off market?
I think it really depends on a few things. If you're someone who is a high income earner and you're ready to retire from like Amazon or whatever it is you guys do, fire method or whatever, you got a few $100,000, a couple $1,000,000 somewhere, you can buy something, list it, put enough money down in cash flow day one. Right? You can do that. Right? If you're someone starting and you don't have too much cash yet, right? That person, I think, will do better with the way that I'm doing this. And I do a class on this, and I tell every single person in that class, you go out in your own area and you find 100 houses that look like complete shit. And it has to be really shit. Can you pull up a screen here on your thing? I want to give an address. I know the address of the house off.
Come on, we want to see it.